All right, Bracknell Howard Shy, Kyle Howard, Bracknell Shy, Bracknell Kakadash, jump around the hell, the pasta great milk, the root girl, since there's how you take that action to put to the truth. The clutch ball corner of earth, to the clear and power of your heart, Bracknell Shy, the hope well let, who the word Italy called Jesus Christ. Named Howard Shy, who the word Italy called Jesus, God named Howard. In the Hebrew, the right consists of the so-called Negro, Latino, and American Indians. And on the line, it didn't go back to the Israel tribe of Israel due to the gathering amongst the nations across the four corners of earth. It is 100 calls the Great Wisdom Los Angeles camp back from the lessons. And I'm now a dollar really be edifying to the greater power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash, which is the Holy Spirit. This could be a part two of America Been at War, 93% of its history. It's a couple of days ago that it is part one. And I realized towards the end of the video, I could have added, went over some more stuff. So this is going to be a part two. I'll follow up on that. All right, bro, tell you how it works. I will try. How I will try, but I can kind of dodge. Don't want to the older possible way, most we will. Their citation, I can put the truth. About the four corner of earth to the spirit power of Yahweh, I will try, the hope will let. And who the word we call God and Howard. The word we call Christ and Howard Shah. The Hebrew, like the so-called Negro, Latino, and American Indian, those like to go back to the tribe of Israel due to the gathering among the nations across the four corners of the earth. It is my heart called the great military Los Angeles camp back from the elections. And I was not that's all over and edifying to the greater power of Yahweh by Hashem, Howard Shai, by Hashem, Howard Kakadash, which is the Holy Spirit. You know, I was throwing some thread, it's like Twitter, but right now, Right, the Instagram version. And it said this, and it's crazy because last week I was Googling how many years America has been at war as a nation. 1776. It's a breaking Chinese Ministry of Defense spokesperson Wu Qian. The United States is a war addict throughout more than 240 years history. They have been at war for all but 15 years. The U.S. has 800 overseas military bases across more than 80 countries and regions. That's why it's known as the hammer of the earth. The United States is the main cause of international disorder, global turbulence, and regional instability. Okay. The AI overview on Google. How many years has America been at war? The U.S. remained engaged in various global since its founding in 1776, the United States has been involved in military conflict for approximately 230 to 235 of its 250 years, equated to roughly 90 to 93% of its history. Most people, period. The nation has only experienced about 15 to 20 years of total peace with frequent ongoing involvement in foreign intervention, authorized war, and smaller engagement. See that? 2026 is coming up on the year. While the U.S. has only 250 years as America been a nation, and we know that all 1812 kingdom empire lasts about 250 years. So, according to that math, and prophecy-wise, America doesn't have that much time left. All right. They start scripture to what? Because that's when you at war, you're not at peace. All right. The United States have been at war or involved in military. And that's why he's identified as the red horse in Revelation chapter 6. In a clear way. Whole years the United States had existed. The United States declared independent in 1776. Verse 3. This year, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And it went out another horse that was red. All right, and that red is tied to Edom. Right, the Edom name is changed to Edom, which means red. All right, along. right? By fire, by destruction,
All right.
by thermonuclear missile. From 1776
And that's the
to
so-called white people.
2026,
And power was
about
given to
250 years
him
of existence. This
that
year, the
they're
U.S.
on to
has been
take
in
peace
war
from the
or
earth,
military conflict.
and that they should kill
Historians
one
estimate that
another.
the United States has been at
And that's what
war
it
and
is.
involved in armed conflict
Other
for about
Edomite versus other
232
Edomite.
years,
And there was given
230 of
unto him
the
a great
250
sword.
years. That
All
means
right.
the U.S. has only been at
Ultimately,
peace
that was his blessing.
around 15 to 20 years
All
total
right.
in its entire history.
And they get a woo and led by the sword. And that's what he's been doing ever since he's been empowered.
And Esau,
All right.
either
As an American, ever since he came out of
whole MO.
it's the power.
Right. We're going to get to the
All
scripture
right.
in a minute. All right.
And then coming back. All right. The Roman Empire.
The first part.
Coming back as America. All
Here
right.
are some of the major ones.
Daily Room
American
in here.
Revolutionary War.
Yeah, we battle. All right.
War of 1812. The Mexican-American War.
And through prophecies and through his blessings,
American Civil War.
he will have the
Spanish-American War.
fatness of the earth. And through the fatness of the earth,
all right,
he got it by the sword, by violence.
All right. All
okay.
World War.
But that's ironic. He's going to be taken down as well.
It's going to be a total of 3.
Right. Or the prophecy of Revelation 18. By way of thermonuclear missile. All right. So, yeah, he was given the great sword, and he's taking peace away from the earth. After the peace is war. All right.
All right, Revelation
like
9.
the Chinese.
Revelation 9 is talking about World War I.
First and dead. They are war at it. All right.
Actually, this is World War II.
Probably in this right here. Psalm 55. 21. The word of his mouth are food and butter, but war within his heart, mind. His word were softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword. All right. So all you think about is war on his mind. Okay, Psalm 140 and 1. To the chief musicians, a psalm of David. Deliver me, O Lord Yahweh, from the evil man, which he thought evil. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischief in their heart, which is mine. Continually are they gathered together for war. See? They always constantly gather together for war. Always. They have sharpened their tongue like a serpent adder, poison under his lip. They lie, keep me, O Lord, Yahweh, from the hand of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my going. The proud have hid a net for me, which is trap. And cord, they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, which are snares and trap. They lie. Okay.
Yeah, this is it right here, because the plane looked like the way Tom was earlier, was driving it at the Locust. All right. This is Revelation 9 talking about World War I. All right, now when you get down to here, verse 12, one world is past, which was World War I. All right, that is 1915 to 1918. All right. Wait, it's right here. So 1917 to 1918 for the U.S. It started in 1915, and the U.S. got entered into the war in 1917. All right. So one war was passed, was World War I. There come two worlds more hereafter. Okay, which is World War II and World War III. Now, woes mean destruction. What comes with war? Destruction, right? Misery, trouble, right? Great sorrow and distress. Okay, and that's what comes with war. All right, now you go to back to the list. Then World War II, 1941 and 1945. All right, now Revelation 11 and 14 mentions the second world is past, which is World War II. All right, 1941 and 1945. All right, and behold, the third world cometh quickly. All right, which is World War III. With we're in the midst of World War III right now. All right, things continue to escalate. It could very well lead to World War III. All right, after the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, war in Afghanistan, the Iraq War. All right, there were also hundreds of smaller military interventions in the Native American War. All right, but also that was top side as well. Okay, we had the Genesis 49. All right, for Coin and Jacob, which is Israel. All right, name was changed to Israel. All right, the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Call his son and said, gather yourself together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. All right. Part of the last days. All right. Ultimately, Hawashai. All right. After he came on the scene, started the last days. Gather yourself together and hear you, son of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father. All right, now we're going to jump down to Gad.
And Genesis 27 and 38, and Esau said to his father, Mr.
Gad,
Alfred,
a true shall overcome him,
brother
but he shall
Jacob
overcome at the last. And Gad means
planted
truth as
him.
well.
I mean,
All right.
Jacob to planted him. A blessing. Which was set up in the spirit. All right. And Esau said to his father, hast thou but one blessing me, blessing my father, bless me, even me also, oh my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, right, the rule, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
1622 to 1890, right, over 100 years. Where Assyria conquered between the Native American tribe and European settler with the Esau.
You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you decide to break free, you will take his yoke from your neck.
Followed by the 19th
You will
century
take his yoke from your neck.
Culminating in the forced removal to reservations.
That was his blessing to now the score has evolved.
All right. Timeline in the
bioweapons, weapon of war, weapon on humanity, a war against humanity. All right. So he had to pay for those things. All right, because he is just a man of war.
This is the U.S. cavalry.
Okay.
Taking down the Indian Right, the U.S. cavalry played an essential role in subduing Native American tribes during the 19th century, serving as the primary mobile force for the U.S. Army on the western frontier. Their operation ranged from official military campaigns to controversial attacks on non-combatants. All right, and your notable engagement. All right, well, these are like the ones that are known. All right, like Battle of Little Bighorn and Wounded Knee Massacre. All right. So that was the truth that overcame. All right. We tried to overcome in the latter time. All right. Gad, as well, all the tribes gonna overcome Edom. All right. That's why that Nathan. All right. During one war to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery to prey upon. It's not. I say in America. Just the tribe of Gad alone of the Native American Indians killed millions and millions of Gadites. All right, this whole land is filled with that blood. All right, not including the tribe of Judah, which are the so-called Negroes, and the tribe of Reuben, which are the so-called General Indians. All right, lots of blood on their hands. All right, it was still in your hand to this day. All right, so at this day, all right, we're prisoner of war. All right, so the act of war is why we're still here in this situation, ultimately because of the curses and prophecies. But war have us as prisoner of war. All right. So it's something to look at, as far as the Indian War. All right, different way to look at it. You have to distance 250 years of conflict, 222 plus years, year at peace, 20 years or less. So historically, the United States has been involved in some form of war about 90% of the time since it was founded. All right, if you want, I can also show you that 15, 17-year history is considered true peak year, or Bible prophecy breakdown. Some camp like GMS connect to America and constant war. And of course, that there shows GMS connection. All right, from the perspective often taught by camp associated with Great Millstone, GMS, American constant involvement in war is viewed through Bible prophecies. They identify the United States with Babylon the Great. It's correct. In the book of Revelation, and see its military activity as part of the judgment and role of that kingdom in the last day, which is correct. America has Babylon the Great. GMS teaches that the nation dominating the earth militarily and economically today fit the description of Babylon the Great. The book of Revelation, chapter 17 through 18. Key point, they connect global influence, military dominance, control of trade, and finance. That's correct. Revelation 18 is all about trade. All right, all the goods, all right, and the commodity being imported here to America. Moral corruption spreading worldwide. All right, that golden cup. Revelation 17, 1-2 speak about how a powerful system, including influencing the king of the earth. Let's get that. Yep. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with many people. All right. Different nations that it rule over. Okay. Whom the king of the earth had committed fornication. All right, at that golden cup. that wine. And the inhabitant of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. All right, and that's how America get down to do business. You have to get down with the American way, with eat or eat 'em way. Okay. According to this understanding, American long history of wars show its role as the main enforcing power of the current world system, right? Not traffic. Right. Them niggas on the island mind their own business. Right. The Red Horse, War and Bloodshed. I mentioned that in part one. All right. It took peace from the earth, and how you take peace from the earth is war. Habakkuk, prophecy about a violent empire. Yep, Habakkuk 2 and 12. Shall be established by what? Iniquity. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. How you got America? Right? By blood. By slavery and blood. All right? America is built off of blood, built off the death of the Israelites, and established as cities by iniquity. And don't see what thought await you who build a city with money and gain through murder and corruption. See, that's America. You thought, all right, to the T. All right, Jim teach that this describes a kingdom built through slavery, conquest, war, exploitation. That's correct. All right, the manifest destiny, that's all exploitation and conquest and war. It came with that with death and slavery. All right, the hammer of the whole earth. Jim is also connect America to a prophecy in the book of Jeremiah. All right, 50 and 23, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? They interpret the hammer of the whole earth as a dominant empire that strikes through power and warfare. Right? Nations through power and warfare. Right? So what you do with a hammer? You break in pieces. That's what you do with a hammer. Okay? And that's how they've been able to control these nations and have the rule over the earth. It's through their military might, with their blessings. All right? They try to live by the sword. Which I brought that out in part one as well. Right? How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations of the Americas? All right, and I'll teach that Babylon, the mightiest hammer in all the earth, lie broken and shattered. All right, we're going to do that, the mental. That could be a mental. Babylon is desolate among the nations. All right, it's a place to be destroyed. America global military presence, hundreds of bases worldwide, like to China, 800 bases, and involvement in many wars. It's seen as fulfilling that description. Final judgment and prophecy, according to GMS, teaching the constant war are part of the lead up to the destruction of Babylon, America, described in the book of Revelation 18. That they believe will occur through a massive nuclear war involving other nations. Exactly. And that's how it's going to happen. Okay.
And then it said, if you want, I can also show you the specific treatments breakdown of World War III, use scripture like Ezekiel 38, Revelation 13 to 10, Declaration 15 to 16. Yeah, we went over it briefly. We'll cover it at camp past Saturday. All right. And then pretty much let all the war. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting information. That's all the war. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. I gotta make it all drawn out. This is pretty much about enough information concerning that.